So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the movie, review the Royal Tenenbaums. The reason why I choose this movie was because I never watched it, and second of all because it looks really interesting, and I was willing to learn about the different characters and how they develop throughout the movie. So in the characters we have three children, one adopted daughter, and two biological sons. The mother, the father, the butler, and the best friend, Ellie. The butler was Pagoda. So this is in the beginning of the movie. This is a two parent family living in New York. The father seems to be the patriarch of the family, and the mother is involved in the children's education, and she is always allowing them to make decisions. Some of the roles in the family, like I was saying before, the father was living a selfish life away from the children when he decides by himself to sit and talk to the children about him moving away from the family or divorcing. The divorce never happened, but he did move away and started living by himself in very prestigious hotel in New York. Evelyn, the mother, was a very sweet and hardworking lady, and she didn't have any time to stress with drama, and she was very supportive of her children. She had his accountant next to her most of the time and talking about the issues she had. Margaret was the adopted daughter. She was constantly reminded of being adopted. She used to write a lot about stories and plays, and one thing that I didn't mention over here in my review is that she did set a play with her siblings in one of her birthdays, and she was disappointed over the issue that her father never took time to understand what her interest was. Richie is a tennis champion. He loves to play tennis, and he also was part of the family, and most of the time trying to resolve the issues with the family. In the middle of the movie, we realize that he is in love with his adopted sister, and over the fact of accepting that his sister has been married several times and she even smokes since she was little, he tries to kill himself. We have Chas, which is another of the royal sons, and he is into the business, and he lost his wife and lives in fear and anxiety of losing his two children, driving them into constantly conducting several emergency drills. I have Ali and Pagoda, which were part of the influence the family had. Ali was the best friend, family's best friend most of the time. He wanted to belong in the family and always got Ethelyn, the mother, to help him with his working life and supporting him in reading his books. Pagoda, the butler, which is constantly supporting Royal, the parenting styles. I already discussed it before, and is in the beginning, Royal is the patriarch of the family. The mother was permissive, authoritative, and she avoid confrontation with children and with ex-husband, and she was always allowing her children to make choices and self-regulate using a responsive warm voice, expecting children to know what to do. At the end, in the middle of the movie, mother is single and working, while father is not involved in the family. This was a fun movie, and I realized that some of the social and cultural influences come from parents, school, people around us, even if they are not our family, but they live close to us for several years. Other influences is when we travel and we spend time living out of our home. That's another influence in our lives. Work and other family members, close or not close to us. And education is one of the major influence in our lives, and in this movie we're able to see it. I was able to see it several times, especially because when Royal was became a homeless because not having any more money to pay his living style, he asked for his encyclopedia, and then when he is about to die, he leaves that encyclopedia to his children. So that makes me understand, to his grandchildren. That brings me to understand that that education was important for him, even though he was not involved in his children education. Some of the interactions styles between family members is some cultural influence in our lives, and that was the case for this movie. I like this quote that says that if you can film an idea in your mind, follow that film idea shot for shot, scene for scene. That idea is worth making. And just like this movie, in our lives, we can reflect that whatever we go through, if we have an idea in our minds, it will become reality and affect in a positive or negative way our lives. Some of the stressors in this movie was divorce, abandonment, grief, drug abuse, and anxiety. Oh, and let me not forget, one of the major factors of stress was also trying to one of the children tried to kill himself or experiencing suicide. I think I already mentioned these major events that changed the family dynamics in the movie. And here we have two of the characters, which is Margaret and Chas, and some of the dynamics that change in their lives. Some of my critical analysis was that father experienced the loss of his apartment and comes to his family house or his children's house and tries to lie about the fact that he has stomach cancer. This situation brings memories from the childhood to the children, and the fact that he wasn't there for them, and one of the children don't believe him, while the other two try to make his life easier on the last days of his life, Roger's life. Again, another major event that also changed the life of the family was Richie's attempt of suicide. I put the video in here if you want to take a look at that. And this was the most major event that changed the whole family and brought the family together. If you want to read other situations that change in the family are in this slide, and some of the ways that I'm going to help the family is going to be providing resources in the community, and of course allowing the family to be their own advocate, and in the classroom support the child, like coping with the stress and scaffolding his activities according to his needs. My responsibility as a teacher is to support them and respect their privacy by not sharing this information with others and keeping confidentiality. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.